Tutorial is going to be all about title creation, and I'm going to do it from scratch because I find that the templates are not always that good. The beginning of a title, and you need to understand what you're creating here, so I've got my timeline here, is you're going to switch to this tool right here, the type tool. And there are vertical type tools and then the regular traditional horizontal type tool. Your first step, you'll notice that the icon has changed, is to drag a box where you're going to write your title in. So I'm going to go ahead and write, "This is a title." So we have some really clear text to work with. Notice that on the timeline, wherever this blue marker was, that's created my title. And the title, like any other title when it's pink or a picture sometimes looks this way, usually starts as a default of 5 seconds. You could extend that or make it smaller. You can move it up and put it on top of video, or you can leave it at the bottom, which will be on top of black. And if you use this tool, you can move the title around into a location that better suits your needs. So there's a lot you can do with that just there. Now, if you double click on the title icon, your whole view changes. And this is something I just discovered with Adobe. It may have been around for a while. I would normally switch to captions and graphics, but it knows that I want to work with this title, and it's taking me straight to the Essential Graphics panel. And so within this panel, I have some things I could do. A lot of things I can do. Most of them are intuitive. You can read, again, if I need to change this or highlight text, I can do that. Highlight the text if I want to modify it, and I'm going to use that later. I could rewrite it if I need to. It just has to be using the title tool, not the selection tool. The selection tool is for moving and resizing. Also, you've got all these other tools here for alignment, and you can change any of that. You could change the size of the font, although it's still maintaining within the size of the title box that you created. So you can stretch that out if you need that to be bigger and you don't want it to disappear. And there you go. And other tools like changing the color, and other tools like adding a second stroke. That's an edge. And you can add more strokes. And then there's background options and a nice little drop shadow where you can see that a little more clearly if I extend the distance. So again, there's a lot of tools you could use to customize the look of a text. And you've also got the ability right here to change the font. And in order to do that, I want to make sure that I've got it highlighted. Right now, the default is Minion Pro, but you'll see there's a lot of other fonts. Some that I've downloaded that are a little bit too big, so I'd have to stretch that box out. But I want to show you how to get a font, because sometimes a font is something that you want to personalize to the project. So for this one, since I know I'm working with kind of a holiday theme, I've already found something that will work. You can go online and you can download a font. And when you do, there's plenty of websites that can do it for free. When you like the look of the font, you're basically teaching the computer which font it is that you don't already have on the computer. And you're typically going to get this, which is a zip file. If you click on that zip file, it unzips it, and you'll get a folder. And within that folder, you'll get an OTF, or I can't remember the other format, but this is what you're after, the font type. If I double click on that font type, I will get a dialog box that looks something like this. And this is just showing you the fonts what it's going to look like when it's done. And it's very like curvy with hearts in every letter. When I click on Install Font, it's going to show you a preview of it and add that font, Deconico or Deconico. Oh no, sorry, Romantic Austin Demo to your font library. And then, because it's computer and smart like that, I'm going to be able to find it here. So I'm going to go ahead and get that font pulled up again and go back here, and it was called St. Augustine. So I'm looking for the S's. S. Let me double check that. Just make sure. Romantic Augustine. I'm looking for R. So a little wild goose chase there. LMNOPQR, Romantic Augustine Demo. And the font that I highlighted is now in that font. So these are all the things that you could do with the title. And remember, you need to go back and forth between the selection tool when you want to move the box. And notice, since I didn't have highlighted all the text, that one is still the Blade Runner font. But all of these tools together can combine to give you a really unique look. And fonts and titles can be very, very cool and part of the storytelling process. That's it for this tutorial. Hopefully I've given you enough to know how to move titles, reformat the titles, extend the title, and do a lot more than just type in the words and leave.